Yeah, I've been noticing that. So. Hmm. Well, it helps because you have it already set to music. I don't want my music might not be in sync with yours, so I'm just, yeah. I did notice that a couple times. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure this out. Well, good morning, everyone. Whoa, I sound loud. Welcome to Unity. I'm Laura Baird, and it's my pleasure to be your facilitator this morning. And we have kids this morning, so we're going to welcome the children. We're going to sing I Am Who I Am, and if you all would join in and sing with us for the kids. We have some girls coming too, but they aren't here yet. Okay. Need music. The music? Oh, really?
This one's really quiet.
It's just perfect.
Okay. I am who I am. I am who I am. Okay, shall I do it? Shall we redo it? Okay. Yes. We'll start at the beginning. All right, here we go. I am who I am. I am who I don't have to worry. I have all I need. I start each new day, and I remember to say, I am who I am. I am who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. If I'm feeling worried, I take a deep breath. I start each new day, and I remember to say, I am who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. Who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. Who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. Have fun. God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. with these golden wings. Take flight.
Oh, join with me in consciousness as we together join in this oneness, remembering that that is all there is. As I breathe and relax, I feel the arms of the beloved holding me, supporting me, loving me beyond measure. For it breathes me, it is me, and yet it is so much more. I feel its benevolence. I see it in every aspect of my life. So today I choose to see through the eyes of love, for that is what resides at the core of me. So with a grateful heart and an open heart, I walk through my day, blessing everything in it. It is all good. It is all God. Please join with me in saying, and so it is.
I am the infinite presence. I am the one and all. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. Within your heart there's a doorway. The arms of love await you with these golden wings. Take flight.
The word for today is healing. I am life, the radiant life of God. When I'm experiencing illness or pain from an injury, I may forget that wholeness is my natural state of being. As I focus on symptoms, the feeling of illness or injury may grow stronger. It's then that I remember the truth. I am a living expression of God. Created in God's image and likeness, divine life, the very life of God, is my spiritual inheritance. In prayer, I align my thoughts and feelings with the power of life. As I move deeply into prayer, any lingering thought of illness or injury dissolves. With my faith-inspired vision, I see the energy of life circulating everywhere in my body, bringing renewed vitality. Every cell of my body glows with the power of life. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. From John chapter 10, verse 10. So our annual theme is perfect vision, seeing through a spiritual lens. And this month's theme is compassion. Through acts of love, I live. Let's have another song to lead us into today's topic with Reverend Ann.
Thank you. You can pass me the clicker and I can do this song for you. Thanks.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is love, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. Let's leave it on that previous one. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day, I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day, I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is peace, joy, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is peace, joy, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is, I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I'll go inside, I'll go inside to find my God. I'll go inside, I'll go inside to find my God.
Oh, doesn't that feel good? Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Anna Haukangas, and it's my delight to be here today as your spiritual director and spiritual fitness coach. How about that? Okay, so we are spending the entire month of March focused on the art of being. And the art meaning that we get to be creative about how we're being and encouraging you to see through the eyes of God, because that's how God sees, through us, as us. So spirituality is natural goodness, and at Unity we talk about the first principle being God is all there is, and God is good. And therefore, I must be good because I'm part of God. So you must be good because you're part of God. Doesn't that feel good? Yeah, good. So what is your purpose? Any ideas? What's your purpose in life? To learn. To learn, okay. To learn to be more loving. Anyone else? To be a light. Anyone else? One more.
To bring joy.
To bring joy. Yes, and it's all of those things, but foundationally what it is to be who you are. Because you are the hands and feet of Spirit. You are the manifestation, the particularization, as Charles Fillmore said, of Spirit on earth. And so you are here, your purpose ultimately is to be exactly who you are. And yet people like Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book called The Four Agreements, because he understood that as we live in life, we get domesticated and we start to do things according to how others want us to do things, because that kind of makes for a more peaceful world sometimes. But what it also does, though, is it causes each of us to diminish some aspects of ourselves that are actually the brilliance of who we are, the magnificence of who we are. So this whole month is based on a book called The Art of Being by Denis Merritt Jones, and you can download it off of Kindle. He also, on his website, does have a workbook that you can follow along the book as well. So it's The Art of Being by Denis Merritt Jones. And let's move into that. This was a lovely reading. A mother views her child through the eyes of love. A scientist views the stars in the heavens above. A doctor views his patient with compassion and concern. A student views his teacher with so much to learn. A grandma views her grandchild and makes such a fuss, while God views itself through the eyes of each of us. I'm going to talk about how you are a gift, and about taking the responsibility for being the presence of God, and what might that look like for you, and something about what you think of me. Two stories came to mind. One of them, because we're into the season of Lent, was the story of Jesus, and the other was the story of a man by the name of Salvatore. And I'll start with the story of Salvatore, because you probably have not heard that one before. When he was about to be born in Italy, his mother said to her husband, "I have a feeling that I got a message from the angels that I am to call our son," and she didn't even know it was going to be a boy, because back then they didn't know. "I was to call him Salvatore," which means the Savior. And the father said, "There is no way we're calling our son the Savior. No way." He just felt that was almost sacrilege to call the child that. And so when the child was born, the child took about one breath and then stopped breathing. And for about 5 minutes did not breathe. And the mother looked at the husband and said, "You know what? I don't think he's going to make it. So I don't know what you wanted to call him, but can we now, in his death, call him Salvatore?" And he said, "Okay, fine." And at the moment that they proclaimed that his name was Salvatore, he took his second breath. And today he's an adult man. I'm not sure how old he is, but I know this is a true story. And the interesting thing that happened with Salvatore is that he was told this story from the moment he was old enough to understand what that meant. And he proceeded to live his life in fear of being crucified like Jesus was. And so the things that he could have accomplished in his life, he did not. He lived under the shadows of what his parents expected, what his wife expected, what his friends expected, rather than being fully who he was. And apparently, even in his older years, was still afraid to truly be who he was because of the fear of persecution and crucifixion and whatever may have been the reality of being Salvatore. And I thought about that, and I thought about Jesus. And he was pretty radical in his day to talk about something that was very different than what the world was talking about in those times. And he was being really the way shower for everyone on how one can be God on earth. And he ended up being crucified. And so it could be pretty scary to walk this walk of being someone who is proclaiming to have God within. And yet we live in a country and we live in a time where it's safe to do that. And I honor that, and I feel so grateful. And I know that as a unity minister and as unitics, do I call you unitics? I'm not sure what to call you. Yeah, okay. Lori says, yeah, that's good. That we're not here to tell you what to think. We're here to talk about how to think and how to live. We're a faith, a philosophy, and a way of being that allows for who we truly are, each individually, to shine. And there's nothing to be afraid of because of that, at least not here. And so just let's take a moment and just say thank you. Thank you that we're that fortunate. The gift you have brought to share with your earth community lies in who you are. Who you are, or who you believe yourself to be, is the gift that you bring. I can hear the wonderful screaming of who they are in the other room. And you know, that's the beauty of having a children's ministry in our ministry here, is the reminder that if you want to crawl under the chair and sing the first song lying on the floor under the chair, you get to do it, and nobody looks at you and goes like, hey, what you doing under that chair? And yet, at some point, even if you or I wanted to do that now, I don't know if each of us would be quite so open to it, would we? And yet, why not? If that's what you feel like doing, go for it. It's not bothering anybody. Okay, Diane, we're waiting. Okay. So let's look at some different characteristics that you might have that are really the key to who you are as a unique person. So perhaps you're striving to help others. You are a nurturer. You're caring and supportive in your personal relationships as well as in your job. And that may be who you are. And there is nothing you can do about that. It's as though you just are driven to constantly help, and that's okay. And then there are some of us that aren't that at all and happily receive. Maybe you're striving to be recognized, and that can have a double-edged sword, as you can imagine. It's important for you to be genuinely of service in acknowledged ways. Like, some people really like to help, but they like the feeling of people knowing that they're helping, whereas others like to do it sort of silently. And either one is okay. Striving to be creative. You're an artist. I know that's certainly a big aspect of me. If I don't get to be creative, it's like something's missing in my world. As long as you genuinely express yourself, you feel like the person you were meant to be. How you do it is actually irrelevant. Hello. Striving to be spontaneous. That's a good time for you to come in. You are an adventurer. Action-oriented, curious, outgoing, and often technically gifted. You live for new experiences. You're drawn to risk-taking and aren't afraid to fail. Anyone resonate with that one? Maybe only the first part? Strive to be knowledgeable. I know my husband, that was one of the things that really attracted me to Randy, was his desire for knowledge, his curiosity. You're an intellectual, incisive and curious. You're driven to deeply understand how things work. Social validation isn't your goal. You're secure enough in your cerebral pursuits. Strive to be secure. You're a stabilizer. You are the rock in the storm, the one others lean on. Loyal and committed in your relationships, you maintain a support system of like-minded people who you look out for. Are you a rock, a stabilizer? Some of us are. You striving to be in control. You are a leader, confident, assertive, and decisive. You know what you want and you go after it. And can you see where there are aspects of all of these things that each of us are at different times or in different areas of our life, but some of them really color our entire world and are sort of the predominant traits, aren't they? And that it's okay to be that way. That's what creates this mosaic called life. So a mindfulness practice. Look at the person sitting next to you. Realize that this is God looking at itself. Now look on the other side. I invite you this week, as you go through your days, to do that. Look at people in their eyes. How many of you really look, and maybe make it a game and see if you can recognize what color their eyes are, so you're really forced to look in their eyes. Anybody know what color my eyes are? And green with brown spots. What color are your eyes? Blue. Okay, yeah. taking the responsibility for being the presence of God. Are you ready to do that in a real way? To be truly the hands and feet of Spirit on earth? And what does that look like? WWJD, what would Jesus do? What would God do would be another acronym. And in every situation, to be able to see through the eyes of, anyone seen the movie The Shack or read the book? It depicted the idea of God being so loving and benevolent and non-judgmental. It was absolutely fabulous. It's worth seeing again if you haven't seen it, or worth reading again if you haven't read it. Spirituality is natural goodness. God is not a person. God is a presence personified in each of us. Spirituality is not a thing. It is the atmosphere of God's presence, goodness, beauty, and truth. Ernest Holmes. Remembering that God is all there is, imagine what God must be experiencing through you every time you enter into that sacred space of being aware that you are one with it. What does it feel like? Maybe give me some examples when you recognize your oneness. What does it feel like for you? Anyone? Warm?
Feels very personal.
Very personal. And what do you mean? Like, is it a kind of a...
Well, you all think I'm crazy downstairs, but I remember went to Alexander's while you singing, she asked for clean lights. So I was asking for them this morning because I had to forget my milk. Two green lights would be nice. And then boom, 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 I got two red. So all the way, and I did it in record-breaking time, and I said, thanks. And everyone I go through, I say, thank you.
Yeah, so
So it's very close, very close.
so the door is opening for you in the ways that it needs to.
Wow,
Yes.
I didn't know you were this close to me.
Anybody else want to share something? Yes.
Feels like grace.
Feels like grace? And what does that feel like?
Grace, just like everything's easy and beautiful, and everything's just
Easy and beautiful.
flows. It's easy.
Aren't the words that we use to describe our experience with Spirit just beautiful words? They're so comforting and delightful sometimes. Many who are searching for a spiritual life continue to look for it outside themselves, however. Those of us in unity, perhaps not so much, because we're practicing the presence all the time. And they believe that it has to come through some sacred entity, or that it can simply be scheduled for a Sunday morning between 10 and 12. Like there's this saying about it's easy to be a monk in a monastery, but can you be a monk out in the world? It's easy to be godlike here with everyone else. How easy is it out there? And I think the more we practice, the more that happens. Pray as God rather than to God. Eric Butterworth, one of the Unity ministers, wrote a book called The Universe is Calling. And he has a chapter in that book that talks about pray as God because you are God. You're not praying to something outside of yourself. You're praying as God to God. So how would your prayer change if you're praying to that intimate presence that's within you? You might say, I know it's there, reveal it to me, rather than, where is it, bring it to me. Any ideas? What might you say in a prayer if you're praying as God? I am. I'm grateful. I recognize. I claim. Think about some of the things that you own, for instance. Do you ask permission to use that thing? No, because you own it. Your life and spirit are that close to you. They are who you are. You don't have to ask permission for your life to be better, to be guided, to be loved, because it is who you are. So you'll hear many say that it's demand it, claim it, declare it. Rather than pray, be still and know God's oneness. And I know many who are on a spiritual path who really don't use words or any kind of actions, like even a prayer pose or any of that. They sit in stillness and just connect with that beloved that is at the core. Ask and you shall receive, it says in Matthew 21:22. So we're given the permission and the free will to not ask if we don't want to, try and figure it out our human way. Or we can ask and it shows up in the most miraculous ways. I've been having interesting dreams, for instance, and that's how things for me show up, where I'll dream about an individual who is representative of something that I need to know. And like this morning, I woke up having seen someone in my dream that I hadn't seen or thought of for a long time. And I sat with that idea of that person and thought, what does that person represent? And all of the ideas that Spirit had for me came flooding in the representation of that person. So you have a special way that you connect, and it connects with you. Because ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss. And so this is in James, and what it's saying is that if you haven't received it, somehow you're asking in a way that isn't connecting. And I suggest that connect first with the truth. You can't have a desire unless it already exists. That thread already exists. The dictionary gives some of the root meanings of the word ask as to demand, to seek, to request, to claim. Asking is an act of faith in God. The supply is already provided, but we have to raise our consciousness. Now you've heard that, and that can be kind of a nebulous term or a cloudy, kind of hard to hang on to term, this idea of how do I raise my consciousness. Raising your consciousness is the same as, let's say I say that I own this little Dewey here. I don't ask it or anyone else if I can use it. It's just mine. And so in my consciousness, I have a consciousness of ownership of this. So when you have a consciousness of your connection to Spirit, then all kinds of things unfold for you in ways that maybe they didn't up to this point. The first step in prayer treatment is the silence, not affirmations. In Psalms 46:10, it says, "Be still and know that I am." And in that stillness, listen. And it may come in that stillness, or it may bubble up all day long, all week long, with ideas on how you might move forward. Every problem in life is trying to communicate something. You need to begin with be still and listen. And then say what one is listening to. I am. What you think of me is none of my business. And that's part of the art of being. Can you really truly be unaffected by what somebody thinks of you? Lori's shaking her head. It's hard. There's a human part of us that wants to be loved, wants to please, doesn't want to create conflict. And yet the truth of who we are at the core is Spirit, perfect, whole, complete, not a mistake, glorious. Dr. Terry Cole Whitaker says, "What you think of me is none of my business." When you're mindful of your true divine nature, other people's opinions, nice or nasty, are meaningless because you know who you really are, and you have no need to be defined by people who are constantly seeking targets to project their own sense of pain and lack. And that's the whole thing, is what has hurt you so badly that in attempting to hurt me, you're trying to solve or heal your own problem. And if you can take the stabs or the criticisms that come from someone else in that light, then it allows for much more understanding. I found I worked for about 40 years with women in the beauty business, and the women that came in on certain occasions and they were very critical, they were in a time of their lives when they were being very critical of themselves. And so that criticism just kind of spewed out everywhere. And I came to understand that what they needed right now from me was love, understanding, and just a tell me more, rather than like, hey lady, you gonna be nice to me or what? You know, how much would I have achieved with that attitude? The second agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz, don't take anything personally. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Again, simple, but not necessarily easy. So there's a story about a student goes to his master teacher and asks to know the key of true inner peace and freedom from emotional suffering. So he says to him, okay, go to the graveyard today, and I want you to pick a gravestone, and I want you to just say everything fabulous that you can think of about what this individual might be like, and then come back and report to me. So he goes and he does all of these beautiful affirmations and accolades and comes back, and the master teacher says, great. Now tomorrow I want you to go and do the same gravestone and do exactly the opposite. Cast aspersions on that gravestone and that person, and swear and be critical and do all of that, and then come back and report back to me. So he does. And he says, so how was that? Well, I didn't get any response, either the day before or the day after. And basically what he was teaching the man was that in human form, unless you're dead, you're not going to react. But the thing is that you can learn every day to just be more and more confident with who you are. And I truly believe that when you are spirit in action, allow your true beauty to shine, then the rest really doesn't matter. And you can say, thank you for sharing. We really are okay just the way we are, no matter what anybody says, including the voice in your head. You're magnificent. You're beautiful. You're wondrous. The law of attraction will always guarantee an ample supply of these individuals to assist us in demonstrating how we feel about ourselves. Have you ever had a morning where you woke up and said, boy, this could be a really lousy day? And it's like everything lousy seems to show up. Or a day when you're thinking, oh, I look so tired. Everyone comes along and says, boy, do you ever look tired? Well, by the end of the day, you might as well go have a nap. Like, that's how it works. That's how we have a relationship with spirit. What you think about comes about. So thanks for sharing if someone has something to say. The other saying that I just love when somebody is criticizing is, tell me more. Because what that allows is for me to understand, where are you coming from with this? Because I know it's not about me. It happens to be pointed at me, but it's not about me. So if it's a negative, let it become as water off a duck's back. If it's positive, silently give credit where credit is due by saying to yourself, it's not me, but God within that does the work. So you are a gift, an absolute gift. And taking the responsibility for being the presence of God is as much as you want to do. No one's asking you to be 100% Salvatore. You can be who you are. And to remember that what you think of me is none of my business. And I'll end with a short story that was two individuals being who they are. And this was a number of years ago. We were having let's say a craft fair, and we were selling cookies, and we had people doing Reiki, and we were selling old clothes and things like that. And one of the gentlemen that was there participating had put his shoes, his good shoes, where all the old clothes were that were being given away. And at the end of the day, he went to look for his shoes and they were gone. And this really, really lovely, much younger than him woman said, oh, I sold them. And he wanted to be mad. But the interesting thing was that he was in a time in his life where he had lost his wife about 6 months before that. And he had been praying every day that he could meet someone bubbly and vivacious and wonderful like his wife had been. And guess who he met that day when she sold his shoes? Now, they didn't end up being lovers or that kind of a relationship, but what he desired was to have that intimate experience with someone again so that he could believe in life again, because I don't think that he thought he could ever meet anyone again. And there she was, selling his shoes. And now she lives in one end of the world and he lives in another. And they still connect on Facebook, and they still are mutual admiration society with each other, if you know what I mean, like liking each other's posts and that kind of thing. And I know for a fact, because I've seen his face, every time he talks about her, thinks about her, there is a smile from ear to ear. So God is good all the time. And God always says yes. And so it is.
It's time for conscious giving. We're going to say this affirmation together. Giving affirmation is from the love of pure spirit in me. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Will the ushers please help us with sharing of the gifts and donations while they do? I invite you. Oh, we've already said that. Sorry. And we'll have a song. Oh, we'll have a solo from, well, we're back. We'll have, where are we? Oh, okay.
This one's by, I think her name is Jan. This is what I know. This is what I know. This is what I know. We are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize God's faces. All of my creations in this one heart. And all I need is already looking through these eyes. Nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I believe all I can be. Now I let it go with such appreciation. In exhilaration, I set it free. So it is, so be it. When I see it, I can claim it. And so I believe all I could be. Oh, amen, 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 amen. Would you sing amen with me? Amen, amen, oh yes, amen, amen. Sing it now, sing it out, sing it out, amen, amen.
Let's give her a hand. We love Dedry's music, and we love Anne's talks. Thank you so much. We're going to be thinking about how we look at people this week. So, are we calling back the kids right now? Okay. Oh, well, just to mention that the Daily Word is available to you to purchase at the back corner for $7. It gives you 2 months of wonderful messages on each day. And if you have a prayer request, there is a box at the back, and the request forms are behind the chairs in front of you. And you can fill it out, and you're going to be held in consciousness for 30 days here, and it's going to move on to Unity Village, where it will get another 30 days of constant prayer. And the kids should be coming. We're going to sing a song to welcome them back too. Oopsie.
Hi. What did you make today? Oh, wow. Very magic dog. Very nice. You guys ever lucky? Did you have fun?
Could you hear us?
Yes, we could hear you. Okay.
So we're going to sing along with our blessing to the children.
Blessings to the children, and also it is birthday Sunday.
So let's get the March people. People have birthdays in March. Could you please stand up and we'll sing to you?
Yay!
Is Wendy it? Oh, we got two.
Rosie. Rosie? Wow. But you can stand up and dance too. Yeah.
Shall we sing happy birthday? We love you, we bless you. We love you, we bless you, we truly, truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Let's do that one more time, and let's put one hand on ourselves. Go on now. We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. Let's see that birthday dance. Woohoo! Oh, yes.
Yay. Moving right along, we'll stand and finish our service with a song.
A prayer,
Oh,
a prayer
oh, a
first.
prayer
Did you follow your?
first.
Take the hand of the person next to you, and please stand, if that's comfortable.
Okay.
Is it not there?
Yeah. I was seeing songs.
So the next slide. So this is a new format for us where we're saying our closing prayer together.
Okay.
Please join us. I am at home in the heart of God. I am at home in the heart of the beloved. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. And so it is.
And are we
This
singing?
is one of my favorite
Yes.
songs.
Here I come. Here I come. I am spirit-filled, renewed and rebuilt. I've got a song in my heart. With joy I dance my part. I am on cloud nine, one with the divine. Gratitude smile on my face, and I'm ready to face the world. Everybody, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Oh yes, here I come. I am harmonized, upgraded and revised. I've got love in my heart and the courage to start. I am on cloud nine, one with the divine. Gratitude and grace, and I'm ready to face the world. Everybody, here I come. Tell someone else this. Here I come. Tell someone else that. Oh yes, here I come. And tell yourself, oh yes, here I come. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Here I come. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Here I come. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Here I come. Oh yes, here I come. And all the people say, hey.